So this is our second video in working through the operating instructions and suggestions manual I have here as we learn to actually use the Friden STW10 mechanical calculator. And we have a few different example problems to work through on this page, but I figure we'll just start down here for today as we do some addition problems. And so we can see we're doing some mixed addition and subtraction. And we start with setting up the machine. So decimal places for 2 decimal places. And we're working with the add key in the down position again. So our first value, 258.67. Then 142.75. 100, and it's a subtraction. 492.45 and 250, and it's a subtraction. And then our expected result here, 543.87, is now in the upper dials, 54387. And we can move on to our next problem. And this will highlight the answer to one of the most common questions I get about this machine is, why is the main keyboard so big? And why are there so many buttons? So as we discussed in the first video, each column is a single digit, and you just assign a value to that digit using the buttons or clearing the column to be a 0. And we saw in the last problem there, the value 100 is a single button push. If we look at the number pad over here for multipliers, which is a lot more contemporary to us, and we're a lot more used to seeing this sort of thing, but it's sequential. So to enter the number 100 in the same way, it's actually 5 button pushes. And a more varied number entry, if you make an error, you have to wait to clear out the whole thing and then start that entry over. Versus here, if you have like an erroneous number, you just correct the single column. And as we're about to see with this problem we're about to work through here, not only is it about faster error clearing and number entry, but the changes between the numbers can be a lot faster. So we'll clear out the carriage. The other thing we're going to be doing is moving the div stop key into the down position, right? So with the add button or the add lever down versus up, as we discussed, by moving it down, it locks us into a single operation per button push. As well, when we have keys entered, once an addition or subtraction operation is performed, it automatically clears the keyboard. Now by pulling the div stop down, we have that single button push action, so we don't accidentally perform multiple additions or subtractions, but the keyboard remains in its state as set unless we manually intervene. So we're starting here with the value 47.25. Then we're changing it to 43.75. So rather than having to re-enter the whole number, we only change the values that actually change. 41.50, 51.50, 51.75, 50.35, and then our expected sum of 482.70 is now in the upper dials, 48270. We can check. We had, if if we had numbered rows on, say, a large spreadsheet, we could check the number of rows that we were supposed um, to enter, and we can check it against our actual number of entries here in the lower dials. And it gives us a little blurb here. So the advantages of repeat addition effort savings. The column above requires but 14 key depressions, as opposed to the 40 key depressions with the add key down, a saving of 26 key depressions, or 65% in effort. And it may not seem like a big deal, especially if you're not used to working with this kind of keyboard, but a skilled operator of this machine would pick up and parse through their entries and would only make those changes, and it would actually speed up the operation quite a bit with someone who's skilled in actually using it. So yeah, it's one of the big advantages of having this parallel entry system on a keyboard like this, which was pretty common in a lot of adding machines, going back famously, like the comptometer style machines use these parallel entry things. Obviously, one of the main disadvantages is you now have to have a big column of keys for every potential digit or number that you're wanting to work with. In this case, we have 10. But as we'll cover in a later video, there's ways to work around that. So yeah, that's it. Just doing some basic addition on the Friden STW10. Thank you for watching.